Last time we played, we had no idea how to proceed.
And I was taking a little nap.
Yes. We can figure out how the heck to go a little bit further.
I think we were missing a piece of something.
Yeah, like maybe we didn't examine something, or... Let's see, like, I think we got everything... Yeah, because I think we showed him the bowl already. One of my bowls. See the Mr. Salty mark. From the stand, they drank. Very high concept. Yeah. Okay. And I do remember... I know we needed a... Oh, wait a minute! The slippers!
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Put it back. We'd only carry one thing at a time.
Yeah. Come think of it. Wasn't there something else in here? Something near the bottom? Look at the paint on these. That means they must have ended up in here after Mr. Wright's accident. Maybe they're connected. Let's pick them up. There we go. Okay, now that's what it was. All we needed was a day off. I had to think about this.
We were all a little tired.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the mystery print. Yeah, it's like, oh, do you know what it could be? I'm pretty sure I've seen something that would leave a print like that. Oh, yep, that's it. The bottom is covered with paint. What's this weird shape here? It looks like a leaf was stuck to the bottom when the wearer stepped in some yellow paint. So the outline was left when the leaf was removed. Ah, I got paint on my hand. Apollo, I saw you try to wipe your hand on my cape. Aww. Okay. Well, I think it's these slippers, actually. Slippers? What would slippers be doing out here? But look at the bottom, see? It's covered with paint, except for, see right here. Hey, that spot is shaped like a leaf. What if a leaf was stuck on the bottom and came off when the slipper stepped in paint? Makes sense, doesn't it? Wait, something's written on them. The Maractus Clinic. Exactly, the victim's clinic. And that's the evidence that we gotta show the guard in front of the clinic. Wait, that means that someone from the clinic was involved. I like it when she gets serious like that.
I just like her, because you like her when she jumps up in excitement, too.
Yeah, she's so cute. Why is she just standing there eating? Detective Sky, I have a favor to ask. What? Can you get us access into the Maractus Clinic? The police won't just let us in. They say the murder and the clinic are not connected. And it's off limits until we prove they are. I should be able to do something for you, yes. Really? Well, you did my work for me here with the shoe prints. Seems like I should return the favor. Thank you, Detective Sky. Here, show this to the police officer on duty. Sweet. Maractus Clinic, here comes justice. He's gone. Ah, you two again. When, oh, when will you learn? Look at me however you want. You're not getting in today. I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Look what we have. What's this? Detective Sky. Yesterday it was Prosecutor Gavin. Today it's Detective Sky. Who are you two? Really? Now he's suspicious again. Well, you got the orders. I gotta let you in. Have fun. Thanks, Mr. Officer. Let's hit it, Apollo. I hope Hottie's not here, too. Huh, kind of an at-home sort of place, isn't it? This place has a connection to the murder in the park.
There's bowls.
I'm sure of it. And, if you notice, there are slippers missing there.
Yeah.
And there's a wedge down there.
A woman's shoe.
Yeah, a wedge shoe.
Yeah.
The police guy out front wasn't so sure. Beyond it being where the victim lived, it looks like the police team's gone home for the day. There might be some clues lying around. Let's get cracking, Apollo. These must be the slippers for patients at the clinic. The same as the pair we found, of course. Look, a single pair is missing from the rack here, too. And ours have paint on the bottoms, which means they were taken out of here on the night of the murder. Right, the paint's from the hidden run after all. But what were a pair of clinic slippers doing in that trash can? And what were they doing at the scene of the hidden run? There's a single pair of sandals here. Wait, but why would there be sandals here? Unless they belong to one of the patients. Or maybe it's a visitor that's come to see Dr. Maractus. You'd think they'd use this house entrance instead of the clinic entrance in that place. And if this patient or visitor isn't still here, why'd they leave without their shoes? Better take a closer look at these just in case. Look at all these bowls. They're from Eldoon's Noodles. There's Mr. Salty. Then I think we figured something out. I think we have. Mr. Eldoon must do takeout. Not exactly what I was thinking. All the bowls have been washed clean. I think we found our first clue, Trucy. The clinic reception desk. No one's here, of course. There's a small sign on the counter. Please pay your bill. Remember, we're the ones holding the scalpel. Brutal, but effective. Look! This door says doctor's office. Think this is the victim's private office? It's not locked. Too bad. Why too bad? I like opening locks. It's kind of a hobby of mine. Like those little bike locks? Don't even bother putting them on when I'm around. That's probably not a hobby you want to tell too many people about. Whoa. Thump? Ah, Apollo, that sound. It came from behind this door. Someone's in there. Let's check it out, Trucy.
I think the cops are there.
No, the cops went home for the day.
Oh.
A break-in, they left through that window. Wait, Apollo, you're too late to catch them now. That must be her experience as a panty snatcher taster talking. Well, we should tell the police. Let's check the room out first, Apollo. If we call the police now, we'll lose our chance. You're right. She's better at this than I am. Well, one thing's for certain. This clinic and our murder case are looking pretty related now. Kind of an expensive-looking lamp, isn't it? Hey, the bulb's broken. Broken? Don't you mean burned out? No, our cat burglar must have dropped it. But why is it standing up on the floor like that, then? Hey, look at that cord. Huh? There's a red splotch on a part of the cord. It's a little bright for blood, almost pinkish. Something's definitely odd about that lamp, that's for sure. Books and papers are scattered around the room. Wow, what a mess. This is worse than Daddy's room. The burglar must have left in a hurry. Even the cup on the desk here is lying on its side. Huh? The juice that spilled out of the cup, it's dry. So the messy one wasn't our burglar just now. Someone knocked this cup over a while ago and left it. What's all this stuff? Whoa, what are those? The wall is covered with beakers. Eek! Something's moving inside that one. You look, Apollo. Hey, look yourself. You can't... Oh. It's a goldfish. Wow, they're all fish. So many kinds. Whoever designed this had a sick sense of humor. What a cute little safe. Looks like a 4-digit lock. Oh. Someone's already entered in 2 numbers, Apollo. 7-9. Wait, do you think... That burglar just now was trying to open it. I wonder what's inside this safe. Is there any way we can figure out the last 2 numbers? Well, we know the first 2 are 7 and 9. Maybe there's something in the court record. Something that can help us figure out the last 2 numbers. I wonder. Yeah, I know what we need. I have an idea. I knew it, Apollo. What is it? Well, all we have to know is what buttons have been pressed. We can use this to find out what the other 2 numbers are. Do you know what? Because I know.
What?
Well, just for prints.
That's not how that works.
When you press the button, you'd have to touch them. With your finger, right? It would leave a print. When you open a safe, you don't press any other numbers but the right ones, right? So if we can find the buttons with fingerprints, we'll have the safe code. Not bad, Apollo. See? It worked. Well, apparently I need to use more. See, the other two numbers are 2 and 5.
We don't know the order.
Yeah.
But we can get
Yeah, it's either 7952 or 7925.
225.
Okay. These are glove marks. The burglar must have been wearing gloves. Well, we might not be able to identify the burglar, but we can open the safe. Let's give it a shot. Alright.
No?
Alright, so that's the other one. It opened. Alright, kitty cat. No clues here. What? That's a kitty. It's a clue. Oh, there's a bullet hole. It looks like a medical chart. There's an x-ray in here with it. An x-ray? Can't make heads or tails of it. And I can't read the chart either. It's all in medical speak. But the names are easy enough to read. Look, by patient it says Walkie-Kitaki. So this is Walkie, our client's chart, huh? Why would this one chart be here in the safe? Let's see, the physician's signature says Pal Maractus. What is it, Apollo? Look here where it says who filed the chart. Let's see. Nurse Alita Tiala. Alita Tialita is Wakie's fiancé. That's one Ida too many, Apollo Lowe. Never mind that, what's her name doing here? How should I know? Though I guess it means she's on staff at this clinic. Odd that she neglected to mention this before now. I'm sure she had her reasons. So Alita Tiala worked at the Maractus clinic, and she had access to Walkie-Kitaki's medical chart. You got the I and Y wrong, Apollo. I'd be very interested to... How would she know that? I'd be very interested to find out what this chart says. Who could help us decipher this? This looks like a bullet hole. You can still see the bullet sticking out of it. Why is it in the middle of the safe? Hey, the bullet came out. The tip was all squished. Not surprising given that it was fired into a metal safe. This bullet's got a story behind it, that's for sure. This potted plant has seen better days. This doesn't make sense either. What doesn't? Normally burglars are looking for valuables, right? That's true. That's what I would do if I were a burglar. So I look under a potted plant. Maybe they were looking for the key to the safe. I've heard of people putting their house keys under plants for the key to a safe. And maybe the burglar was looking for the house keys. This is getting nowhere fast. The window was ajar. That must be how the burglar escaped. I wonder who it was.
Is there a wine bottle on the floor?
I'll have to see in a sec. Maybe it was just a burglar who happened to or sitting out front. If I were a burglar, I'd come back the next day at least. I'd give it a month myself. Whoever broke in obviously needed to break in today. Oh, a juice bar. But that was part of this whole thing. So I think we might have gotten everything. Yeah. Maybe Emma can help us with the medical chart. I know that face. That's the face of someone who's made a discovery. Hey, how did you know? You can't fool someone trained in the ways of science. Next, you'll have us analyzing face prints. Let's ask the Detective Sky to help us, Apollo. So let's investigate first some of this stuff, shall we? Wow, it's all mushed. You know, it kind of looks like a muffin.
No, I was going to say cupcake.
Yeah, that was one tough save. You know, it looks kind of yummy. Yeah! Huh? Like ice cream. Caramel. You certainly have an active imagination, Druzy. The lid lodged near heart. 19.
Put lipstick?
What the hell? Someone kiss it? This cord runs to the lamp. It has a red stain on it. Gotta wonder what left that stain. Wait, I know. Maybe it was left there by a red marker. Like they were trying to write their name and slipped. Why would anyone write their name on a lamp cord? I used to write my name on my magic ropes. The bulb is broken. It won't turn on. Oh, how is it broken? Don't touch that. You'll cut yourself. Eek! Yeah, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. My finger! Ah, you're bleeding? Let me see that. Wait. Magic blood. Tee-hee, gotcha. Please don't do that again. I have enough to worry about without my co-workers injuring themselves on the evidence. Okay.
Tell him to test that.
Yeah. Hey, Paula, you think this is... this could be a toe print. Maybe we can get a print off of this. Let's try it out. Hey, it worked! That looks like a big toe, maybe? But wait, I mean, it's great that we got the print, but is there such a thing as a list of toe prints? Oh, good point. If there is, Detective Sky didn't give it to us. Which means we can't match this print. This seems like a good time to ask for the detective's advice. Yeah, good idea. So we can present both to her. Alright, let's do it. Those sandals. That's quite a clear print there, a toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is. Well, there is a way of finding out, of course. There is? What? All you need is a sample of the same toe print off another shoe, for instance. Oh, right. So if the prints match, you know the same person wore both. Do I have another shoe worn by the sandals? Yeah! I think I just might, actually. Really? I'm beginning to suspect something here. Detective Sky, can you compare this sample with this other print? I did say toe print sample, didn't I? Where exactly is the toe print on this evidence? Oops, stormy skies ahead. Try again, scientifically this time if you would. Huh.
Do we have to print them first?
Maybe? Well, maybe we, go. Detective Sky, I was wondering about this. Trucy, wait, what? That's vital evidence there, you can't show her that. That's our secret weapon in tomorrow's trial for sure. Ooh, clever, Apollo. What did I tell you before? If you're going to talk behind someone's back, do it quietly. Detective Sky, I was wondering about this. Trucy, wait. That bullet was inside the safe, right? That means the police don't know about it yet. Oh, right. We can use this in the trial tomorrow. Do I have to repeat myself every time? If you're going to talk behind someone's back, do so quietly. Well, I guess we can't show her this either, because... Could you take a look at this lamp? Oh. The bulb's broken. Right, strange, isn't it? Really? I break bulbs all the time. My desk is a mess and my lamp is always falling over. Not too bright, huh? Ouch. I still think it's kind of odd. I don't think we have another toe print. Sorry. Unless we didn't look. We haven't looked for it yet! Okay. That's the same one. Oh, God! Oh, whoops. Actually, exited out. Hey, it worked. That looks like a big toe, maybe? Well, I feel like the case is solved already. What was next? We have to match the print, right? Right, let's match it. Wait, the detective didn't give us a list of toe prints, Apollo. Maybe we should ask her, get some expert advice. I guess so, I'm not sure she really qualifies as an expert. Ah, the slippers. That's quite a clear print there, a toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is. Well, there is a way of finding out, of course. Ah, yes. Yes, I do. Ooh, the print on these is nice and clear, too. That makes our job easy. Can you analyze it for us? Of course, hang on. Bingo! Gosh, I'm good. Hey, we were the ones who found the prints. A perfect match. The same person who wore these sandals and slippers. The same person wore these sandals and slippers. I was afraid of that. All you have to do is find out who these sandals belong to. Or do you already know? I can't say, not yet. Well, that's one big step closer to the truth. Gone he is. Don't cry, Angel. Daddy's back, and Daddy's... Oh, you again. Do you always have to announce your entrances like that? Man, my old man, Man. Now I'm all in a funk, and it's his fault. One can only assume that his father tried to teach him a lesson and failed, clearly. You two got your work cut out for you straight up, because I don't care if they lock me up. I'm ready to go. Some days I wonder why I do what I do. Hey man, you won't see me bugging about 1 or 2 guilty charges. But what if you're found guilty of murder? Hey, it's all experience. You feel me, Shorty? Like a badge of honor. They don't give the death penalty, do they? You didn't really do it, did you? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If I've learned one thing today, it's that silence speaks louder than words. Man, my old man is whack. Disappointing, that's what he is. I heard he wants to leave the mob over my dead body. I spent my life trying to keep it real, being an OG and never stepping down. Now my old man wants to go soft? Fine, let him. Just leave me out of it. The day I get out of the clink, that's the day Alita and I start the next generation of the Kataki family. Please don't talk as though it's assumed you're going to jail, for my sake. What's that? Some kind of x-ray? Wait, that's right, Rocky, it's yours. Hey, look, I don't smoke or nothing. I'll live long, right? I don't think he gets it, Apollo. Take a closer look, here in particular. Where it says nurse, it's signed Alita Tiala. You lawyers do your homework. So, you met Miss Tiala when you... Yeah, I met her at the clinic, so? Could you tell us a bit about the circumstances of your meeting? Fine, I'll tell you how we met if you want to know that bad. About half a year ago, I was shot during a little turf war with another family. I was ready to die, sure, but they came in and got me, hauled me off to the docks. The Maractus Clinic. That's where I met her, my fallen angel. You mean Alita Tiala. She was scared of me at first, turns out. But you know what they say, the bad guy always gets the ladies. Right. She was done with that clinic anyhow. So I was like, I'll take you on, woman. Straight gangster style. Guess what she said? What did she say? Come on, give it some thought. She said it real quiet, like on the down low, know what I'm saying? I'll leave if you'll marry me. So that was the proposal? You know it, an oath of love right there in the hospital room. Just like that, the op was done, and we were out of there. See you later, bye. About that op. Yeah, it didn't go so well after all, did it? I know about the report. I know it's still in me. This health checkup was the boss's idea, you said? Yeah, can you imagine? What's the point of living healthy when you're a G, you know what I'm saying? But didn't you learn about the bullet at that checkup? Yeah, That's when I knew that doctor had to pay. Figured I could get that cap pulled after I got my revenge. And hey, I'm still living large now, aren't I? Incidentally, had you ever had a health checkup before? Nah, my old man suddenly gets this idea that we all gotta get checkups. Guess he's getting old. Older, I mean. So anything else? The bullet, maybe?
Shoes?
Oh, yeah! Waki, you don't happen to recognize these, do you? Hey, sure I do. I was the one who bought them for her. For Miss Tiala? Yeah, a birthday present. She got mad little feet. Mad. So cute, man. So these sandals are hers. Yeah, I kinda had a feeling. What's up with the funky vibes? Let's see. I think there's... Okay. Mr. Eldoon, we've been looking all over for you. What's the matter, Choosy Doll? Apollo, show him what we found. Nothing like expert advice. I suppose he is a doctor still. Oh! Yeah, he is. Mr. Eldoon, is everything okay? I'm just so happy. I just thought my doctor days were gone for good. Mr. Eldoon? Mr. Eldoon, could you take a look at this? A medical chart. Hey, you shouldn't go around taking these from clinics. Why the sudden silence, Mr. Eldoon? What? What's going on here? That's what we want to know. The chart belongs to my client. He's on trial on suspicion of murder. On trial? That's crazy. You can't put him on trial. He's ABD. ABD? All but dead. He's knocking on the pearly gates and someone's about to answer. Can you tell us why? Well, permit me to speak as a surgeon. You listen up good now, son. No way. It's like he's a completely different person. Well, according to this chart, this walkie-talkie feller's not doing so well. He's got a bullet right upside his heart. That's right. Yeah, but this chart talks about the post-op. In other words, the operation is already finished. But you can still see that bullet stuck in there. Why would it still be in there after the operation to remove it? Well, about the only reason I can think of is it was too tricky to operate on. What? That bullet snug as a bug there next to the aorta, which is connected to the heart. Hey, that scrap of metal is just surrounded by blood vessels. Kind of a miracle. 2 millimeters to either side, and there'd be some serious bleeding going on in there. Not something your average doc be eager to fiddle with. You mean, it took a miracle to get that bullet stuck where it is. It'll take more than a miracle to take it out. It'd take a magician. I'm only up to making rabbits disappear. I haven't learned bullets yet. Of course, with the heart pumping and lungs working, that bullet's on the move. I give him another half a year tops. But Waki's operation was already a half year ago. That's why I'm saying you're out of time. This kid shouldn't be on trial, he should be on an operating table. Great, just great. How could Dr. Maractus do such a terrible thing? How could he just leave that bullet in there? I got a pretty good idea of how he felt. An emergency operation, he's got the kid's chest open on the table, then he finds that bullet. That's despair right there, Choosy Doll. Cold despair. Despair. About the only thing he could do was sew the boy back up. He couldn't take it out. The Katakis? You bet, this kid's their only son, I hear. So he skips the operation and Waki's back on the street living his life. Of course, it's only a matter of time before his heart hemorrhages and he drops cold. How awful. And which doctor would they take him to? Maractus. He's got enough ties to them, he could probably cover up the truth of what happened. That's just horrible. He left Waki to die. There's a darkness in this world, Choosy Doll. Waiting, hungry. Compared to it, these gangs' turf wars are like kid games. When you're up against real evil, well, it don't matter if you're weak or strong. I'll take you all the same. You were a surgeon, right, Mr. Eldoon? You could operate on Walkie, couldn't you? I wish. What? I'm afraid there ain't nobody in the country that could. Maybe not even in the world. So Walkie, he's real lucky to be alive even now. No. There's only one problem. Apollo? This chart, look at the nurse section. Alita Tiala. That's right, this operation was how they met. Yeah, the problem is she knew. She knew about Walkie's condition, guaranteed. Ah. Why didn't she ever tell him? It doesn't make sense. She knew her patient was in serious danger. You'd think she'd want to get that second operation before getting engaged. What was she thinking, Apollo? What were you thinking, Alita Tiala? Ooh, we're going to court now!
She's thinking that if she marries him, then she inherits everything.
Yes! That's what I was thinking. Alright, here we go. This is it, the big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. or so. Oh? What time did you wake up? 3 a.m. That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. And the amazing Mr. Hat. Here's looking at you, kid. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Hey, get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochine Pasta joint seem almost fun. Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? Ah ha ha, that trim and tank of a mom? Nope, guess again. That's too bad. You know, speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy. It's barely morning and you're at it already, Juicy. Ah ha 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 ha. Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecution's witness is? Alita Tiala, your client's fiancée. She's going to be a witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé? You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today, that much is clear. Well, not to worry, I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there.
It's just so weird with a 15-year-old girl talking about her underwear.
The thing is, she uses it for magic tricks, so it's like, it's not actually weird, but it's weird. Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie Talkie. Because I have to say it once. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is warmed up and it's a sold-out house. Very well, to recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party, guilty of panty snatching, we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant. Correct, Air Judge, and today I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon, the preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed. His betrothed? His fiancée, Air Judge. His partner for life, with no chance of parole. Very well, you may show the lucky lady to the stand. Here's the thing, if she wants the money, why would she be the witness now? See, your name and occupation, Fraulein? Yes, I did it. Alita Tiala, my occupation is future wife. Ah, traditional values, I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded underwater. Yet you're here today as a witness for the prosecution? To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first. But I couldn't hide the truth. Honesty, another admirable trait. Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant Walkie Talkie confessed his plans? His plans for murder? Yes. The witness will please give her testimony to the court. It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Walkie found out that Mr. Maroctus had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Waki could have done it. So the pistol did belong to the Kataki family, then? Yes, with regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kataki mansion on charges of the possession of illegal firearms. And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven. How can you prove something like that? Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Rifling marks. Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint, left in every bullet it fires. And when did you first hear about Waki's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. That was the day of the murder, correct? Yes, everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Waki looked at his face went so pale. But of course, he had just found out he had a bullet in his chest. So you were there at the time? Yes, poor Waki. When Waki found out that Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. It must have been quite frightening. I like his sweaty, nervous face. He was furious. He ripped his report up into shreds. Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. A bothersome chore, but one I performed without complaint. Waki's at an age where he's hard to control when he loses his temper. Of course, that little bit of instability is so cute. Great, now he sounds like a psychopath. So is it easy to take a pistol from the house? Not really, I think. There's a system in place to limit access. But Waki's a special case, being the next in line. Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, ja? Yeah? Yeah. Well, maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he got amazing presents for his birthdays. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone. It sounds like he has a taste for sweets and danger. The point here being that Waki had access to a pistol. And you already know what happened that night. What happened? Meaning the murder. I tried to stop him, I really did. But Waki wouldn't listen. Our defendant was nothing if not determined, it seems. The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss. How can you say that for certain? How? Herr Forehead, you will refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Waki, was it, who took the pistol from his home? We know this for a fact now. I suppose we do. So how could anyone else have used this pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah? That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point? Could someone else have used that pistol? Yeah, there was another.
There was somebody else there.
Yeah. The unknown footprints. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol. What's this? Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was.
Her. She was staying over there all the time.
Yeah. Well, of course, I mean you, Miss Tiala. Me? But why? You were quite clear when you told the court you heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you know what he was planning. Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé and killed a man in cold blood on his behalf. I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this? It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate on murder. I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. Slightly different light? What possible connection are you suggesting here? You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Miss Tiala, and the victim, which is Waki's charge. That looks like a medical chart. Found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. What? Miss Tiala, whatever, why is your name on this chart?
Oh.
Ooh. Oh dear. Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala? I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. Our warm little fiancé just froze over. I was on staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Miss Tiala, you testify that you had no connection to the victim. And I don't, now. Now? I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess, you're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right? That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love, past balls and all, and there's no connection now doesn't fly in a court of law. Doesn't fly. She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Katakis. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true, but you remain connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic.
Her shoes were there.
Yes. These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they? Well, who knows? I'm sure there are lots of people with those sandals. I'm so sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you. What's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints? A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted to help get Waki back on the straight and narrow. This court thinks you need to worry less about Waki and more about yourself. It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder. Well, there's little point in denying it. Very well, the witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus Clinic that day? I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend. By mistake, you mean the mistake we heard about from the defendant. The botched operation. He was a timid small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know? That does make sense. Yes, but there's still one thing which is not. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. I would have worn those sandals home, too. So why were the sandals left behind? He pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake? Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Ya, forehead? Oh, what the? No fair. He's filling the holes in her testimony. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Still haven't gotten to that part that I've wanted to show you for 3 years. It's really not that great of a 3-year wait, but it's funny. Well, I have to build it up, hon. It's all I got left. Alright, press. Around what time did you go to the clinic? I don't remember exactly, but it was after 9:30, I think. And that was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year? Of course it was. He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with. So why did you go to the clinic that day? I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away? Well, after I failed to stop Waki, I thought that was the only other way to avoid the problem. Couldn't you have called? Why go in person? I called several times that evening, but no one was in. The victim was busy driving home until after 9 p.m. that night, remember? This was proven by this mirror yesterday, yeah? I thought if I warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing the doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. You mean that act of malpractice on Walkie, correct? If he had just told Walkie the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened. True, that operation was the start of this whole affair. Oh, of course, if he told him, he might have been erased by the Katakis much earlier. A disturbing thought. We know that the Maractus Clinic had ties to the Kataki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police even if he wanted to. That's why I knew I had to warn him. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. So no dark secrets, eh? What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing. She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too. You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend. But then you'd be betraying Walkie, wouldn't you? No, I did it for him, for us. She went to warn him so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, yeah? I didn't want them to take my Walkie away. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Trying to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. So, it was saying to present something here. So let's figure out if there's a dark secret.
The bullet in the wall?
In the safe? But could we connect that to her with what we have?
No. Because I thought maybe she went to go take that paperwork up. So that they wouldn't know that she had been his nurse. Well, 2 rounds. It said 2 rounds were fired.
Yes.
But only one was in his head.
Was in the head. The other must have been in the safe. Well, let's try it. Oh dear. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice. I think we're onto something, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So... we already presented this, though. There's a red stain on the cord. It looked like lipstick, but... the thing is, isn't she hiding this from Walkie?
Probably.
So maybe...
Is that what we got out of there?
That was in June. Eesh. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. You sure about that? Objection overruled. Repress. Around what time? 9:30. You didn't make friends. Because I know sometimes when you go over it again, it's like... it has some new info that you got later. But, yeah, it was that. What I'm talking about. The box operation. Okay, it's the same thing. So, looks like it's Arpeggio being weird. Let's see. I still don't get what he was pulling the noodle stand. Like, I really don't remember why he was pulling that. Maybe she went with the gun?
I had thought that too. Maybe she was going to kill him in the office?
Yeah. And then maybe we present the bullet later. Nope. Music's still going.
What are we missing?
And we have all the evidence we need, I know for sure. Let me, save, because I'm screwing up bad. So, let me press again, so we can reread this. No dark secrets, eh? What, look at me however you want. She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too.
What about the green shoes? She went back to get her regular shoes because she was wearing the green shoes?
Well, I know they went over the green shoes. Like, the reason she left those was because she took the sandals.
No, he said another pair of shoes that looked like your original ones.
Let me look at... I don't know if it goes up that far. No!
What did she ask before this, or what did he say before this?
Oh, what did who say before this?
What was said before this?
Teach him to admit his own mistake.
Okay, and then next. I don't know what we're missing. What have we all presented?
We presented, for the fourth thing she said, the bullet, the chart, and the checkup report.
Okay.
Or, or it was the pistol. It was definitely this. I don't think it's the chart, though. We already did the chart. I mean, I can try it.
That's it?
Really? This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office. Yes. Why would this one chart be in that safe? Ah! Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you? Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad air doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Waki's failed operation. Interesting. You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? You're bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents. This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Too bad, little attorney. Ooh. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet tighten just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Eh? Then what's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe... Yes, it has to be it. What has to be it? Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. We don't know what her nervous habit is. Well, then what do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses. Then it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down the testimony. Why would I go to the clinic now for a half-year-old chart?
She spins her ring.
Yep. So I gotta wait till we get back there. Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. It was quite clear, Miss Tiala, you have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? She was unsure, I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now, I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. I mean, I know it's been 6 months, and he's, like, gonna die at any moment. I don't know if it has to do with the lamp. Maybe the bullet? Well... shoot.
Well, why was that bullet even shot in there?
Yeah, we still don't know that. So let's see. That chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. Indeed, which means something happened quite recently, something to make that chart a problem for you now. Let's see.
Is it the new checkup?
This one? No. Sorry. This one?
Can we look at it? And this is the newest one.
Well, this was filed June 14th, right? And it's like... Sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that. Oh no, June 14th. And this was June 14th. Okay. Let's do it. I think you're onto it. A health checkup. Good job, babe. A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself, because you were afraid. You knew what Waki's chest x-ray would reveal. A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free when the chart came back to haunt you. That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from Air Forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic, but her connection was deep indeed, a bit too deep. If the Katakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala? You guessed it. Order, order. I did it. I broke her testimony. Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait. Miss Tiala, it's true the chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Waki and went home. It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us. That is this clear, yet it is not clear that the truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony, and we'll have a bit more cross-examination. I was so close. You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left. Bullet.
And she spilled the drink, which was spilled hours before.
Yes. I don't think we have that as evidence, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You'd say nothing happened in the doctor's office? I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually.
Wow. That's real fast.
This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe? This is the first time we saw him sweat the whole game.
Well, the police didn't know about that.
I guess the police didn't check that far. But there is a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kataki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Air Forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately. 30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position? The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day, and at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe would contain the top-secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Order, order, order. Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kataki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination? Apparently the Katakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money to get her hands on this fortune. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her, she's mine. It was me. I saw that doctor. He ha 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 ha. Miss Tiala, I'm sorry, it's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Waki, wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby. The signature on the chart, the engagement. I mean, come on, it's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Alita. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway. So the family fortune is what you're really after. That's right, I wanted the money. No way, that's whack. I ain't trying to hear that. Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who, me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me? Oh, what crime, may I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but... what are you talking about, Trucy? You had the most to lose if that charge was found. But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? Well, you could have taken walkies. You think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I'd heard him say is, it was me, I shot him. It's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Certainly the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then... wouldn't she have taken the chart? Oh, you see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. He's right. Miss Tiala? Yes? It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé. Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus clinic on the day of the crime. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Maractus was shot in the temple or not. You went back later. That chart was dangerous, you understand. I needed to get rid of it, that's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat when the cops all over the place. With the cops all over the place. Ah, that was you. Ah, Paula, that sound. It came from behind this door. So you were the burglar. That was you too? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart. What? That's trespassing, and brazen at that. Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? I'm kind of thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. Later. When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after, the 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way. Why did Dr. Maractus keep the chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it. Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance. Insurance? My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? But you could have stolen it. Could have? Is this some new definition of proof? We'll ask Waki, he'll tell us. Might I remind you, this is a cross-examination. You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Yeah, but what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further? Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes? So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in his right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look, and was shot. But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple. Silly, silly attorney. What? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us, Air Forehead? Show you what? Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. If the witness, panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? Ah ha 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 ha. I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Waki Kataki was standing at the killer mark, Wesley Stickler at the witness mark, and of course Pal Maractus was at the victim mark. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim?
Someplace else?
As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from?
Objection!
It's time to raise the roof, and the stakes. Eh? Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Oh no, like so. Double penalty. Air Forehead wishes to take us in a new direction. Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time.
You
All right.
can't afford a double penalty.
I know. Let's save this one. The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, and we know where he stood, and the victim stood where he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here.
She's inside the cart.
I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime, and this time we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no. Oh yes. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand. Order, order, order! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand? Which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'd think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? This is it!
It's all the bowls stacked at the clinic?
I think so. Well, I've got it? Well, too bad. You want evidence that someone was in the stand? Well, too bad! Kidding, just kidding. I've got it. Phew, close. It's just so stupid. Why do they even give me that option? It's just always like, well, too bad. Then let's see it. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. And I think we know what the proof is. This, because there was a footprint.
Yeah.
The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near this crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiala, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. The park pathway runs next to the slipper. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle-making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand? Apollo, I think I might be onto something. I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be... Well, Mr. Justice, you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand. I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand, and that's what you're talking about. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldine's Noodles noodle stand. Yes, and what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic. Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. I don't care who did it, without that stand I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside the noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop! Oh, she said stop. I didn't notice that. I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. Oh, you still got some up your sleeves. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines. I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent. Show me an innocent, I'll show you a fairy tale. In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus. More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale. Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. Think it's the last cross-examination. Are you ready to break her? Alright. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting the chart fall into the Kataki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score. I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth or it's over. I had no intention of ever letting the chart fall into the Kentucky family's hands. So then I went to... Dr. Maroctis didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kentuckys had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Something tells me it's this.
Okay.
Let's see what her hand's doing. Yep. Right there.
Gotcha!
Oh. All I did was talk and lie. What? Show me proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? What? This is working better than I'd hoped. Your unconscious actions tell the truth you won't say. Habits and lies, 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? It seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maroctis clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. The bullet? Although I still don't get this thing, but... It is the lamp. It looks like lipstick because he was choking her around the neck, by where her lips are.
Okay.
What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple. Miss Alita Tiala, please remove your scarf. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park, yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my clothing. Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. No! I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Your neck. That isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maroctis clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it. But wait, looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maroctis and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maroctis clinic. Uh-oh. Is she gonna... Order, order, order. Will someone please tell me what really happened? I told you the truth already. I went to that clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient. We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me. So you can save your own skin? What? I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company, you. And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Pal Maractus was serious, deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. So, you were the victim, and the red splotch on it, the cord, was your lipstick. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claimed that I then snuck into that noodle stand? But how could I? Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened in the Maractus clinic, and it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself. I'm sorry. I got so nervous just thinking of it, it's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now? You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala. When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? Very well, this finishes the cross-examination of course. Heh, 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 heh. Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock. What? Those spikes in your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin, Pal Maractus choked Alita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right. There is more we don't know. But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? Alita Tiala half dead, Dr. Maractus pulling that stand, and a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin? Me? Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we've learned till now. On the day of the murder, Waki saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine. But Miss Tiala and Miss Tiala heard about this from Waki, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature. But then something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala, perhaps, he thought, to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Air Forehead, care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Mr. Maractus do? Dr. Maractus. Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? I think I know, but I want to see if... Yeah.
Did he try to leave in his car quickly?
I don't think so.
What do you think?
Well, I think he was transporting the body sneakily.
Oh, okay.
As his next move, Dr. Maroctus stole Guy Eldoon's noodle stand. What, killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand? It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside that stand? I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls? Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place. Ah. Wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Maroctus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala. My corpse? Dr. Maroctus panicked. He thought he'd killed you. His next move would be to dispose of the body. That's crazy talk. You're all crazy. Then let's think about it. Logically, the doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind, but on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kitaki? I question your logic. Was this Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with? That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand. Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What? Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maroctus was heading with that stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging that stand?
Where are we even coming from?
Well, this is the park.
Okay.
This is the cobblestone path. Here's this. Here are the benches. Was this a road or was this water?
I think it was water. Wasn't it?
I think so. Because didn't they talk about like a stream or something? There, that's a river. Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body. He was going to throw me into that river? He didn't have many other options, Fraulein. Oh boy, are we going to see another meltdown? I believe this clears up all of the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Tiala. And then, the denouement. Wesley Stickler, of panty-snatching fame, walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts, in that instant, so, I shot him. You were the only one who could have stolen Waki's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiala? Nice work. You mean I'm right? I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story to get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maroctus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think that Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Whereof what? Can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out Air 4-head's errors? Heck, maybe there really is something. I believe that Fraulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car? That's right. The Maroctus Clinic has that big garage, in which sat a green sports car, was it? Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. Heck. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand, and our defense without a case. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Eh? Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Daddy. That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car. Oh yes, I nearly forgotten about it. Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine. That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car, A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No! Him in the forehead! Order, order, order. Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body? Is that a groan of surrender, I hear? Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned. Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened.
Maybe the body was in the car and after he hit.
Then he had to transfer it.
Yeah.
I could see that. Okay. The victim used the car to carry the body. Ah, so you're throwing out everything you've proven up until now. Well, if the car wasn't broken, I admire your adaptability in the face of impossible odds. Yet this does not explain why he was pulling that stand. What's going on? Is Prosecutor Gavin trying to tell me something? Perhaps we need to ask you again. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened. Let's see. Car didn't run after he hit someone? I have an idea. Wait! The panties were in the exhaust, so it wouldn't run. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Ha, now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put one and one together and the explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence? Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. Yep, because what did we talk about? What did Gavin say to us specifically earlier on? That there was something wrong with his motorcycle exhaust. Let's see now. Panties again? All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties, the latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid. In the Maractus Clinic garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them? Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating, and I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start, a clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. My, how interesting. While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start. What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does.
Should I freak out?
I guess you had her freak out earlier. Where am I? So dark, can't see, cramped. The pain, my throat's burning. What's your problem? You, Doc. I know what you did. Ah.
Waki? You lied to me, so you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine, I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me. No! He'll ruin everything. I have to stop him. Cease this at once, you two! Funny, this isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well, too bad. There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand? In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police, which is when I made my escape. Which is when you left that slipper print. Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though. That was your mistake. No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. Eh? I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Waki declared guilty, it was you. I believe we've reached the conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think he already knew. He figured out she was the killer a while ago. So now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. He lost, but I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, Air Forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict.
Doesn't he need to go to the hospital?
Yeah. Big time. Court's adjourned. Hope he doesn't get too excited being not guilty.
Yeah,
Russ.
doing a jumping jack and kill himself.
Yeah. Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did somehow. Waki's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank. Hey, attorney man, you're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. Or to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back. Stupid pointy-head attorney with a death wish. Enough, Waki. Ah, Mr. Kataki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Waki. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you open yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about what you don't understand, Waki. I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out. If not in jail. Wouldn't that be a happy ending? Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kataki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Waki. And I think I know why, but let me save, because I like getting this part right. Oh, Waki, Apollo has something to tell you. Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. Yeah, what's that? Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why is Mr. Kataki trying to become a businessman?
Pay for surgery to get that out?
Yep. Urgent. Exam needed. Think about it, Waki. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Waki. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Waki. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. Please understand, Waki. Dad.
You have eyeballs now.
Yeah, really small eyeballs, like the eyebrows are killing it. Man, I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for Rocky? Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer.
Wow.
My, Walkie. No, it's as it should be. Mr. Kataki, I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words. But I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who, me? I don't think... Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kataki lime pie. He's opening a pie shop. So long.
But why did his son look like a fox? And then they have like a fox logo on their apron because like outside the house, wasn't it a dragon? It wasn't a fox.
Yeah, but maybe he's opening a pie shop and it's going to be all foxy pies for his foxy Kataki walkie-talkie.
Foxy walkie. Lord.
And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo, to the Right Anything Agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? Aw, we make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going. Huh, why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first. Huh? Where? Why, to claim a reward for Mr. Eldoon. Ah, salty noodles. Right. He got a stand back already. Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat. Oh, it's special, all right. Please, anything but him. I will tell you, if you're upset that she didn't have a more epic freakout after that first one, I do remember the third case freakout, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
But the fourth case freakout is the stuff of legend.
Okay. I like the meltdown.
Yeah, it's always cathartic. But I can tell you the next two meltdowns are going to be great. Obviously won't tell you who, but that's good for today. Let's just watch the opening scene, and then we're good. I appreciate you sticking with me. I'm glad we finished the case. Turnabout Serenade. Let's rock! We love you! Rock on, everyone. This party's not over yet. Get out your handkerchiefs for our special guest. That's right, baby. The night's just getting started. Thank you for coming to the Gaviners, guilty as charged. This ends the first part of tonight's show. There will now be a 20-minute intermission. All right.
That's it.
Well, we're backstage.
There's the police thing. Wasn't that the thing that was outside the police station?
From the fifth case of the first game. I remember. And look, there's a sticker on it to the left, above the word guilty. Well, there's two guilties, but the one in the bottom left.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, honey, I appreciate you sticking with. I thought you might have gone to sleep halfway through the case, but you stuck around.
I was tuning out a little bit, but I stayed.
Well, you got some, oh, wow. Nearly 1 hour, 50 minutes. Pretty good. I think it was worth it, though, to finish the case up. So, and you got some good evidence stuff that you got going,
Okay.
So, all right. Well, next time we play, we'll start case 3.
Okay.
All righty.